sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. If all the things you never show, there are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go.
Okay, hey guys, welcome to the live. I wasn't actually planning on doing one at all. I'm tired. I'm working. I'm a little emotional as well because obviously it's been a day, a little bit. Anyway, so I'm not quite sure in my mind how I'm going to tackle this, but I want to say hey to everybody. Thank you for joining the live. And if I get teary-eyed, I'm sorry. I'm kind of emotional today. Been trying to cover this case as respectfully as possible. Same with Charmaine. She's not here. She's on her way to Fox Creek in Alberta there. So she just sent me a message. Then she said she grabbed some Arby's. And but anyways, I'm going to be very respectful still within this live on there. So first and foremost, please, if you are joining this live, just give it a like and a share. If you don't mind, don't do it for this channel. Please always do it for the missing and the murdered. And in this case, we'll do, Jack and Lily. All the other cases that are out there. It means a lot. Simple as that. It means a lot to the families. That's what I'm trying to say. It means a lot to the families. This isn't about me at all. Never has been. I don't make it about myself. So hi, little devil. Thank you. I'll give some shout outs first. And I am sorry if I get emotional. I am very sensitive. I am sensitive, but I'm strong by the same point. But like I said, I mean, all day during work today, on my lunches and my break, I'm sitting there having to do posts and take down video or privatize it. First, I put it into monetization just because I wasn't even thinking. You guys, I started work at 5:30 a.m. this morning, and all I see is this message saying Daniel's asking to please take down the thing that Malehya is getting a bunch of threats, and it's something about a detective calling and saying that Malehya was getting a bunch of whatever death threats and whatever. And I'm like, you're kidding me. But no, hold on a second. No. I know those people are out there, and it's sickening to even have to discuss this at all, to be honest. But at the end of the day, I have to do what's right for the people that you've that have entrusted you, in a sense, right? No, actually, I'm just going to say some hellos first. Hi, Susie Little. How are you? Rhonda, I saw that coffee after the live ended, so thank you for the taco that you bought. So if you're watching this, thank you so much. I seen it afterwards. Hi, Kent. Yes. Hugs to Charmaine. Hugs to Charmaine, hugs to Daniel, hugs to Belinda, all the people that literally have to put up with the bullshit of the internet and the news and stuff like that. But It's when true crime takes news or YouTuber stuff and then makes an absolute mockery out of it, calling it lies, calling it BS, saying that Daniel said that they're fake, that these posts were fake, that I put it to monetization for the sake of money. It's just ridiculous to go to people's Facebooks, right? To sit there and literally to be so immature in life that you literally have no life besides to do this. How do you live with yourself every single day? I had this one person on the video today, and what's her name? What was her name? Kim W. Kim W. I just want you to know that I hope you live a miserable life as much as your miserable post, that you literally put on Lily and Jack's tribute awareness video that said, "Give me a break." And I said, "What's your issue? The video's too nice for you?" And she was like, basically a smart ass replied back, like shaking my head. The fact that people like that actually exist in this world, I hope that you reap what you sow in life. I hope that you get your just desserts. And I hope you live the miserable life that you've obviously settled for to do stuff like that. That's what I wish for you, Kim W. And for all the people that are adults that need to go to people's Facebooks to idle threats. Malehya, Daniel, nobody has been charged in connection at all with Lily's disappearance whatsoever. But them people, of course, took that live, Dolly, and then you take that live. You don't even know the context of these posts that you're putting up there at all. Again, he doesn't have to listen whatsoever. He can do whatever he wants on his channel. But to sit there and make a mockery and you don't even know the text behind these, and you can't even say our channel's name, and yet you sit there and use the information. If I'm using your channel, Dolly, I'm going to say your name if I'm using your content. But to sit there and you couldn't even utter the name of it because you probably couldn't remember the name, which is At Criming Shame. And then you literally have up the posts, and then you literally sit there and you go over like them all, but you don't have no context. I get the fact that you were like standing up for Daniel, but you totally obliterated your thumbnails, the ones that you say aren't clickbait, dude, the ones that are totally clickbait, dude. And it's so disgusting to watch. Like, don't sit there and preach like you're this good person and stuff like that, and then sit there and put out these clickbait titles, and you're doing it for the sake of money, and sit there and doing it for the sake of subs as you're on your rise to 100,000. Now, I'm not just calling out Dolly on this one, guys. It's when people take context and you literally are doing it for the purpose of helping the family, bring awareness. This information, nobody had to share. We didn't have to share that information. But, we wanted to give Daniel a voice if there was things that he wanted to set straight a bit and give some information because he's a truthologist, right? But then to realize, again, the reason why he asked for it to come down was because, of course, right, it doesn't matter if Malehya left the house the next day. It's the fact that people that are grown as adults do stuff like this. So for all you negative people out there in the world that do this stuff, like I said, there's a special place down below just for you people. I hope you people reap what you sow, because I totally believe in karma. What you put out to the universe, you get back. But what sucks here is that yes, I put the video as private, but I feel like it's such a wrong thing to do. And I'm sorry, I'll get back to chat in a minute. I'm just venting here still. But it's like, because at least when you came to this channel with those posts that we put up, same with Daphne's, the live that we put up, okay, that information for our channel, it was already vetted, okay? So we knew that Daphne was already a family member of that. We did the due diligence, right? So Charmaine sent me those posts. I already knew who Daphne was instantly. Why? Because I'd already done my homework right away. Belinda, just for the sake of people out there, Belinda, can you confirm that this is Daphne? You know, your sister-in-law, Belinda? Yes, it is. Hey, Belinda, can you confirm that that's Daniel that you've spoken to? Yes, it is. Okay, we did our due diligence. Why can't other people respect that when they're taking stuff from other content creators? And just do your due diligence and put out the right information. What's so hard about that? You know? I mean, everyone likes to speculate. That's no problem. Speculate to your little heart's content, right? We have the right to do so. But when it comes to truth and facts and putting out the factual information, at least that's coming from the horse's mouth, and these people want to ruin it, do you think honestly that Daniel's going to want to talk to probably, maybe he might, but do you honestly think he's going to want to talk to Charmaine possibly now? Why? Because of all this bullshit that happened after the live. But yet the video's, again, privatized. And yet it's the only place that's really telling the truth. And because we're the ones that put it out there with Daniel's consent. You know? But do you think he expects that, you know, these threats are going to come to Malehya and all that because of something that he said? No, because, you know, you think that people are decent and human and that they care about each other. But yet it's not true. What people do behind the internet, they just think they can get away with anything. And, you know, and it says a lot about who they are in their real life. But behind the internet, even double the scum are bigger scum. Anyways, let me see what you guys are saying. I'm just venting still because I can and I want to. Because it's annoying. It is. It's hurtful and it's annoying because you're not hurting me. Do you understand? Do you understand? I just do videos and lives as I can do them. I don't make this my livelihood. You're not hurting me. You're hurting the families. So Daniel wants to speak. And these fools that literally have the stepfather wanting to stay stuff, whether it's, you know, right? Three sides to a story, right? Always, 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 right? Because everyone, Daniel's perception is one way, Malehya's could be totally different. So somewhere it meets in the middle, right? But the bottom line is, this was simply Daniel's truth. And he was willing to share this with you guys, right? And of course, like Belinda told Daniel, you know, like, this is a good channel. You can trust them. Absolutely. We were so respectful in that live. We promised there was not going to be a big attack on Malehya or her mother or anything. It was just to put out the information and do it with the respect and integrity that he was asking for. Because like he said, right, the children in the future have to see this stuff. Now, I know I can't control what other channels do, but you guys ruined it for yourself, those people, because of those bad apples. So like I said, I go on with my life. I don't have a child missing, right? I'm just trying to do the right thing. I don't even like being in true crime. I like the only reason why I've even stayed in it is because every time I think to quit it, it's just because I know that I can do my part. You know, this is one of the most unselfish things that you could do is literally be in a true crime world and have the ability to share the awareness of cases. What's so ugly and awful about that? Nothing. But people want to make it that way. A lot of people want to make it that way because they're selfish, they're greedy, they care about themselves, and they don't understand the number one rule in life. That when you're unselfish and you do kind things and you're caring, that karma's going to come back to you without you even asking for it. You know, but when you put out stuff to the universe, you know, and you freaking use people, you abuse their kindness, you abuse their kids, whatever it is, right? Expect a boomerang to come back and bite you the biggest way in your ass so much. And I pray for that for you. I do pray for that for you. I'm not that person that sits there and goes, you know what? I can just forgive people for everything. I can't. I hate rotten people. I hate people that are not genuine and not real. Sorry, you suck. Just be yourself. be genuine, be authentic, you know? And I figure, but this goes to show you, right? This channel, it works its way up very slowly. I know it's based upon people don't want to hear the boring stuff in a sense or the truth. They want to go to where that channel has put up a clickbait and they want to hear the drama and the bullshit. And then they try to come back and bring it to this channel. I don't put up with it. I'll block you. I will have nothing to do with you whatsoever. I do not respect people that way. I don't respect people, even if I'm watching sometimes people's content, maybe for certain reasons. I don't respect people that literally try to sell you bullshit like a cheesy car salesman. You know, I see you, I smell you, I know exactly who you are. But you know what? Unfortunately, there's a bunch of people out there that are very naive. I'm not naive at all. Hi, Lizette. And I'm sorry, I'm still going on here. All right. But I want you guys to know, okay? For you guys that want truth and you want to hear about this case, you know, and it's so sad that it's not impacting me because it's the information that we were trying to give you guys through the fact that Daniel was speaking or Belinda has been speaking. Do you know, and who wants to take away from that? Why would you? You want to know answers. You want to know what happened that day. Somebody's giving you some solid info. Doesn't mean you have to believe everything, right? At all. But at least that's way more information than you had. Just like Belinda, right? Before Belinda's been sitting here, you know, trying to bring awareness for the case. What brings awareness? Family members talking. Why do family members hide from the sapsucker vulture, you know, leeches out there? It's because of this stuff exactly. And it's sad. And then you got those morons in those Facebook groups that literally sit there and say, you know, Daniel said that these posts are fake. Bullshit. Daniel didn't say shit to you. You freaking bunch of liars. That's why I don't do Facebook groups, because you people, not everyone, don't get me wrong, not everyone, but most of you people, you have literally your lives are in Facebook groups. All you do is cause freaking are toxic. You're mean. You're vile. And I can't be asked to deal with that stuff. That's why Charmaine's the one always sending me stuff from Facebook groups typically, because I honestly can't deal with those people. There's some good ones. Don't get me wrong. Okay. There's some good ones. But the reason I avoid them like the plague is because at the end of the day, I can't be asked to read stupidity. Okay. I know that the information that I gather myself and stuff like that, or gather from, you know, people sending me stuff and stuff like that, I prefer to do it that way than slime in through those Facebook groups sometimes, you know, for information, because most of it's just bullshit. And every now and again, there's some good stuff by somebody that's actually a real neighbor or actually a family that's said something like Daphne, you know, but I didn't get that, right? Charmaine sent me those from the Facebook group, which was from the CBA repost. But I don't need to have receipts for that because I already had my receipts for that, right? Showed you guys. I had it. So I already knew that I had already had that vetted, right? I don't have to give information to somebody else so that I can do their job for them for their channel. Absolutely not. Do your own darn job. Do your own due diligence. Hi, Sunny and everyone. How are you all? Whew, sorry. I'm just letting off steam right now. And you know, at the end of the day of this, sad thing is here, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to go outside there, grab myself some ice cream or something fatty like that. And I'm going to give my husband a big swack on the lips and be like, how's it going? What you doing? Right? Belinda, Daniel, the rest of the family that cares, what do they have to? Right? On their minds, 24/7 is what happened to Jack and Lily. Right? And they're just trying to bring awareness. There's a big hole in their heart. So me, I don't have that big hole. My hole in the heart is for these people, these families that just want awareness. They just want to have answers for their cases. Mm? Mm. Hi, Tina. Thank you for subscribing. Michelle. Okay. Hi, Lizette. Hi, little mama. Hi, Rhonda. Nice to see you. Hi, little devil. Rhonda again. You are being bashed on Facebook and people swear up and down that you were not speaking. You know, I expect this though, right? You see, I am, for the most part, resilient to this stuff. I know what happens, right? People, again, I'm so sorry that in Canada, that so sorry that Belinda happened to realize that I was genuine and that she happened to be talking to me. And so sorry that Belinda told Daniel that we're a good group and Daniel started talking to. I'm so sorry for that. I'm so sorry to put out information there that you guys wanted to hear. My bad. And then people do that stuff, right? See, like I said, I'm sad. I'm angry because now what? Daniel, Malehya, the families, Belinda, have to deal with because of this stuff. It's just ridiculous. And you know what? So for you people that are watching here right now, please, don't do it for me, but do it because whenever you see a lie of a post up there that Daniel spoke out, just tell him it's a lie. It's a bunch of bull. You want to go talk to Sunny Justice? Come right at me. Come sit on my panel. Bring your butt up here and let's discuss your facts there. To all those people that literally have no lives of their own, but they want to trash talk. Bring it on. Come on now, because you're not getting the information. So are you mad? Are you angry, bro? Seriously? These Facebook groups, honestly. I mean, seriously, they have the least respect to me, the Facebook groups. They literally are. Not all. I don't want to say everybody. It's like there's good creators and there's bad creators, right? I just try to I just kind of put my head down and truly do my own thing. Why? Because the one thing I learned when I even became a creator was just how much of the assholes creators can be. There's some of them are so far up their own asses, they don't know freaking which way their head's coming out, to be honest with you. I learned that what they pretend put to you this way and how they are behind the scenes, a lot of them are just a bunch of douchebags. And they truly are. And yet when they're on here, they're like, I'm just sincerely doing this for the missing and the murdered. And but don't forget, hop on that money train. Choo, choo, choo. Donate, guys. Oh, wait a second. Don't forget to hit. I will stay on an hour longer if you donate to me. You never, ever. Well, no, I don't want to say ever. Almost 99% of the time, you'll never hear me go, hey, you guys, don't forget to drop some money. Because I'm special and I deserve all this money so that you guys can give me a bigger apartment and a bigger place to live in and stuff like that. No, I'll if people want to donate, they'll donate because they respect the channel and respect what we stand for. And because they actually see a genuine person and do it that way. But I'm not going to sit there and be like, choo, choo. Come on, guys. Come on, get on that train. But if you give me those 10 donations, I'm just going to stay on a little bit longer, give you some more content because I'm so special that I'm going to give you an hour more content. Crapola. I pray the entire family and the thank you for what you do. Thank you. Hi, Crochet. I still want to call you Crockett every time I see your name. Those texts did not look good for her. Well, yeah, you know what? It's one of those things. Correct. For her, right? Daniel was just speaking his truth. It's not like we hadn't seen basically this already from Belinda's, text that I showed, or the text and messenger stuff I showed you. She had literally said, right, about, that Malehya was, had bad postpartum and that Daniel felt like he had to basically take care of the children. Is it false? Malehya, did you wish to come out of hiding? Did you wish to talk about it at all? Because as far as we can see, you pretty much dumped Daniel to look for your kids as he's sitting here, still in love with you. You're the mother of his child, and yet he's the one searching. Him and his family, and somebody is sitting there and hiding, and you call that love? Sorry, not in my world. So if his truth hurts, it hurts. It is what it is. If the truth hurts, I think that's what he said, actually, word for word. The truth hurts. It is what it is. That's what I say, right? If you don't like the truth, And that's all he was trying to do, was just basically kind of give you a little bit of an inlet into kind of what happened there that morning, you know? And the fact of, he's the one searching, he's the one out there. The truth is the truth. To me, heck, you wouldn't get a second chance, Malay, if your life depended on it. But our heart speaks how our heart speaks, to be honest with you. But the thing is that maybe people find her guilty of not showing her face and hiding in a sense, you know? So I mean, it's not like I don't get that, but it's not like she's been charged with anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily. That's two different things, you know? Thank you for subscribing, Velcro. Ignore them. Yeah, well, it's again, it's not me. I could sit here and do a live today and a live a month from now, and I'm fine. Why? Because again, I have my own daily life. But this case, I've been doing lives almost consistently, right? You guys want to have info? You want to bring awareness to the case? Keep it out there, for the family and stuff like that. Do the right thing. I push myself when I don't need to push myself, but I do it because I care more about doing things for other people than I do for myself. And if Daniel requests that video stay down, which is privatized, then I will respect those wishes, right? If Charmaine's going to try to talk to him, because I think that what he did was a good thing. If people are always going to twist it, it doesn't matter. They're always gonna say that those messages are lies and stuff like that. I know that part of it. That part I know. Okay. The families that walk into this trap, is what I'll kind of call it, have no clue that all this stuff goes on in true crime, because they don't have to deal with it in the true crime way that somebody in their family is missing. But in this case, once they walk into it, it's almost like a thing, right? You're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Like I said to Belinda, you have to have a strong shield, right? And I know that in a sense I'm sad, not for myself. I'm sad because people wanted to sit there and go to Malehya's Facebook and spew a bunch of threats, when Daniel was just trying to put out information. And so what? So now what are you going to get from him? You expect to get any more information besides what he puts out in the news? Little droplets or whatever? No. So it gets ruined, Belinda, she's strong. I want to tell you, that grandmother's strong. People sit there attacking her son and stuff like that. Not as much though, which I'm grateful for, because the children were at Daniel's and Malehya's home. Okay. No daddy, no paternal daddy said, you know what? I haven't been in their lives, but I'm just going to go steal them today. I think I'm going to go steal. Come on now. The RCMP would have been on his ass so fast, right? But I'm so glad that she's resilient, that she's been really resilient to this. Because I always tell her, look, sadly, this is what to expect. This is what happens all the time. But so you guys just took away, not when I say you guys know what I mean. You guys just took an information away from yourselves when somebody was willing to talk. Too bad. Like I said, I'm still going to cover the case. I'm still going to bring awareness to it. So that's the sad part about, because so many of you guys are good apples, that the bad apples ruin it for the good apples, So unfortunately, like I said, I feel like our live was, thank you, Kent, for saying that and sending that message. This and for all the, actually I want to say that to all you guys, thank you guys for all the posts, the love that you guys said, and stuff like that. So I totally appreciate that. It does make me feel better when I see these messages of care. It really does, right? And then you get that little jerk off in there that I'm just like, block. Don't even have time for your, don't even subscribe to me, those people. Like, don't watch me, actually. If I could literally block them from viewing the channel, I would. Unfortunately, I can only block them from talking. And then if they speak and they're jerks in the chat because they made a different name, then I can still block them again, or else I have to sit there and shut up, basically, for the most part. But I don't have the patience for those people. They're not worth it. They shouldn't even be in true crime. Nasty. What does it mean when my comments in faint color? Oh, I think I've seen that before, Lisa. I think that's sometimes like when there's a timer on, that's what happens. Or if another thing might be if you're using it the wrong way or saying a word that Streamlabs doesn't like. Hi, Michelle. I'm probably so far behind here right now, guys. You guys just have to let me vent on this live because I want you to know that those posts are true. And you tell anyone that ever comes across that, you know what? If they want to start drama and all that, like I said, set them straight. The good people set the bad people straight, okay? Right? If we can do a part, and that's what I try to do. You just set the record straight. If people want to still call bullshit after that, I can't control that. You know why? You know what matters is even these drama kings that are putting out these, bullshit clickbait, whatever, the case is getting attention. Now that's the part where Daniel, and if someone's not been in the true crime, they don't realize that the drama is the stuff that actually keeps the cases out there because people love drama. They do, right? So I know that Dolly, or whoever else, can put out whatever they want. It's their channel. They have a right to. I mean, sure, you would wish that they would do their due diligence. Sure, if they want to, make choo-choo trains to ask for money and stuff, that's their right to do that. If people want to support that, again, that's their right, right? But it's when people are adults and literally go to Facebooks and literally threaten people. I mean, look at that lady in Mexico. A follower falls and then, boom, shoots her on a live. For Pete's sakes. Freaking weird ass stalkers of the world. But that these people exist, okay? They truly do. So, for Daniel to be concerned, even though, she probably took down her Facebook page because she was getting this stuff anyway. It happened in Summer Wells' case. Most people, they just idle threats. But you know what? There are those sickos out there in the world of negative talk today. Karma will come back. Absolutely. You know what? So for all you people that are truly caring, kind, and really in this for the right reasons to follow cases and to help the families by clicking that like and the share, right? It means a lot to them, right? It means a lot to me because it means a lot to them. Do you understand? So the people that do, just, keep fighting the good versus the evil, okay? We can't let the evil people win. I've been blasting for many for things. I know, I go to this person's post that I've never even seen this video, and she's showing some of my things, and she's using this stupid AI voice for her thing or whatever. And there's Brenda. There's another post from Brenda there shouting out the channel and stuff like that. I'd never seen that content creator before. I'll probably never see them again. But thank you for doing that, right? Because I can only say it here. I don't go around Facebook going, basically going, well, it is true. Because honestly, I know like what you face, right? You'll just sit there and listen to somebody going, man. I mean, Kent showed me a post today, right? And like, if I could show you, I'm not going to, but if I could show you this absurd post, this person is such a crackerjack. Like, go to a mental, like this person thinks they're being funny, but really you think you're being funny over two kids that are missing as you're, claiming that you effing a dog and whatever else she was doing and stuff like that. It was crazy. It was like honestly crazy. I wish I could put it up, but I'm not going to because it's really gross and stupid. But I'm just like, LOL. Like, seriously? Like, this is the shit people are saying today? Daniel should not be talking about her if he can't defend her on there. That was a catch-22. The thing is that Daniel didn't have a problem putting out the truth, right? It was the fact of that if he's getting a phone call saying that Malehya is getting threats, right? But don't get me wrong, people. I'm not stupid. Those were screen grabbed the moment the live was up, showing them. Of course, I wanted people to take them and use them respectfully, right? I mean, if they want to cast some judgment on the posts, I was expecting that. I would think Daniel would be blind if he didn't expect people to do that, but at least he knew that the proper information was put out properly by this channel. What other people do with it, the thing is, is that it's out there. It brings awareness to the case. It gets people talking, but he probably doesn't expect, hey, excuse me, can you get that channel to take down the post because Malehya's getting threats over here, death threats, you know? I mean, the thing is, too, is that there was a bunch more information that that was said that we would not show that, right? Because that was privacy stuff. But you know what? Kind of, it's one of these things. So, like I said, those people ruined it, but at least I have more inner knowledge about the case. That's the only thing that I absolutely actually look for, because first thing is always awareness about the case for the families. But the other thing for me that intrigues me always is the extra information that we can have by understanding what the case, like what really happened that day, so that you can make a more informed decision with that information. Right? So if you're seeing these things that Daniel had in the post, certain things, whatever, I mean, is it so wrong that he said that the kids ran wild? I mean, I'm sure Malehya's ego got burst a little bit, but she has the right to speak up if she wants to. She could say things against, like in the sense against Daniel if she wants to. I mean, she obviously ditched his ass within 5 minutes, according to Daniel. And what have we seen her out and about talking or searching? So who's doing the right thing here? Is it Daniel, the stepfather of these children, that he promised that he would always take care of Malehya and the kids? Who's doing the right thing? Is it Daniel, who has not shown that he's been anything? He hasn't been attacking to the media. He hasn't been aggressive, right? Again, it's not rocket science, really, to be honest with you on this one. But Malehya could be voicing if she wanted to. She could be out there, putting out shit for her kids. But is she? Nope. Is mommy? Maybe mommy dearest isn't letting her. Who knows, right? Who knows? Who knows what's happening there? But you don't think that's strange at all, like some of this stuff? But it gives you more knowledge, right? About whether it's postpartum, where possibly Malehya's thoughts were, what Daniel's saying. It gave you more insight into all this collection. Because, I mean, if you guys aren't in it to understand the cases or to, understand them, like, meaning if you're just in it just to get the final answer, why are you even in true crime at all? Go frickin' watch Daffy Duck or frickin' Donald Duck or something, and then come back when the case is solved, right? So most people, they're inquisitive. They want to find more answers. It's always what I want to do. I just want to search always for the truth, right? Even if I don't solve the case, I always want to search for as much truth as you can, because that gives you more, at least a closer answer. And then you can go, okay, so, well, now that they've said that they were last seen on this day, well, I guess the big party didn't happen now, did it? So we wipe that out now. That's gone. Bye-bye. No party, stuff like that, right? They were last seen here. We take that out, right? So isn't that what most people kind of come for? Because they want to hear updates on what's going on. And yet you have the stepfather literally, that says, you know what, I'm just kind of a truthologist. You honestly think Malehya is going to be coming back to Daniel? Like, in all fairness, guys. Okay, let's get real here. If she left him freaking in 5 minutes, she ain't coming back, okay? He's probably still madly in love with her, but you know what? I'm sorry. Somebody did that to me and they just, nah, you can't make up excuses for somebody's behavior. You can still love them. But you know what? If he loves her still and wants to take her underneath some waterfalls and beaches and, whatever, it's your heart. It's his heart. If that's where life takes him, type of thing, so be it. It's where your heart takes you, right? Sometimes we're just damn right stupid and we freaking can't see it until it hits us in the face. Hi, Henry. How are you? I should probably... Hi, Remy Stock. Hi, little mama. Thank you for Jack and Lily. Hi, Vanessa. How are you? They like the rumors and get info. I watch other people on YouTube, and I think that it is sick that make up rumors. Absolutely. That's offensive. Oh, There she is. Hey, beautiful. I wish Charmaine was with me here. She would probably be F-bombing the most of the live, to be honest with you. Because, she spent all day yesterday, like she wasn't expecting Daniel to speak with her. She sent him a message, right? Type of thing. And then, and I know probably part of it is because Belinda had already said about whatever, and she happened to mention Belinda, to Daniel. So Daniel knew that Belinda had already told him that we were a trusting channel. So I'm sure that that's why, what prompted him. Obviously, he did. Because I didn't use Belinda at first. Secondly, I didn't. He still didn't add me, sucker. Whatever. That's okay. It's okay, Charmaine. But so, in saying that, so Charmaine not had to. So she's the one that was talking with Daniel all day, right? And everything she said, I mean, people were saying to, like, I think Dolly was saying, like, well, it would be nice if the context was with this. What, you want your cake and eat it too? Charmaine was in a rush, right? She literally was working at the house and whatever. And throughout the entire day, she's talking with Daniel as she's working as well, eh? And so the live just kind of creeped up. And then it's like she quickly grabbed what she could. But maybe Charmaine, I didn't ask her. Maybe she didn't really care to show her parts because it wasn't necessary. When you can see the question, I think I did that with Belinda's on the first time. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll show what I was asking first, right? And so it's kind of like I said, it's like she spent all day, you know, letting him know how much, hey, if you don't want me to say this, I won't say this, type of thing. And he was confiding in her, right? And like I said, for me and Charmaine, we know that if you're talking to us, that you can trust us, that you can trust that this stuff that you're asking us not to put out, where you watch creators, what's his name? Well, whatever his name is. Anyway, he stabbed Seth in the back. And the minute him and Seth from Sebastian Rogers' case, the minute that their friendship kind of broke down there, well, let me tell you, it's because the little using YouTuber was just using Seth for information. That's all he was to Seth, right? And that's so disgusting. And the minute the relationship broke down, everything that was private became public. I'm just telling you that Seth asked me to buy a gun. Hold that close to my vest now. You know, Suck me to that YouTuber that did that. Like, seriously. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, so Charmaine spent, like I said, all day talking with him. And now what? I don't even know if he'll message her back. Why? Because he had said, okay, and Daniel had said that YouTubers with well, probably $1 million to be honest, with millions of subscribers had messaged him. But he didn't want to do YouTube because of the YouTube rules and whatever. Now, at first, I didn't really get that. And I think when Belinda said something later, that's when I kind of got it, and it's because with YouTube, there's almost very little rules, right? People can twist. I mean, they're going to do it anyway and stuff like that, But so in saying that, I don't really feel like there's a big difference myself between YouTube and news. News, they'll just put out the top surface stuff here and there. True crime, they'll dig till their heart's content, right? And they'll find information that the news could only wish to ever have, type of thing. But the thing is, at least when he's dealing with the news, he doesn't feel like he's being backstabbed, and stuff like that. And I don't even want him to feel like he was backstabbed here. I mean, I can't tell you for sure if he actually watched all the live or if he just got a phone call to say take down the live. I don't know. I wasn't talking to him, right? But all I know is Charmaine got the message saying, basically Belinda's getting death threats and da-da-da-da-da, and please take down the live. What am I going to do? Am I literally going to be selfish and not take down the live? It's because it's not for views. A lot of people seen that live yesterday. It just sucks that these other creators didn't actually watch the content and then they're still talking about it. Like, listen to the content of it first. So at least you have your facts, but whatever, right? You can't fix stupid on there. So But it just really sucks, you know? And Charmaine, she was hating to talk to Daniel and ask these questions in a sense. But by the same token, just like I'm curious, she's curious because again, she doesn't want Daniel to give her information that's gonna be detrimental to the case or put it out there and stuff like that. Why would he? Right? Sucks. Anyways, hi Rena, Lori, Lisa, Brenda. Oh, thank you. Okay. I know that you sent an email in. Again, I haven't had time to look at it. I just vaguely and just so you know, quickly on that one, Brenda, the only time I actually look at my emails is when I'm on my computer. So if I haven't actually looked at them in a couple of days, it's only because it's only when I'm doing lives and I'm on my computer. I don't have enough space on my freaking iPad. I mean, it crashes on me all the time. It literally, it sucks because the pictures never upload, even though they're uploaded and stuff like that. So for anyone coming in and for all that, okay, actually, let me put up these pictures. This is, if you are a member, okay, please splash it with love for Jack and Lily. Okay, I put out the tribute awareness video today, and thank you, people, for anyone that has looked at it or shared it. That's the point. It's an awareness. So for hey Kim W, you still suck. Okay, so you can suck eggs for all I care. So for that person Kim W that said, "Give me a break," and it was like just an insult of like, oh, give me a break that you made a stupid video for freaking a missing family. You might as well just have said that, Cam. So, like I said, you know what? I hope you fall face first into a pile of shit today, to be honest with you. And I'll rejoice for that. So please message me on my next video. Let me know if karma hit you in the ass and you did fall into that pile of shit. Just saying. Helicopter was going to place today. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's like for Sebastian, for Jack and Lily. I honestly just don't believe they're in the woods, guys, at all. Like this much big donut hole. I don't believe they're in the woods. Maybe it's more than just that, but I honestly don't believe they're in the woods. Daniel is not past the lie thingy. I don't. Paul, why are you saying that? Why are you saying mistruths there? You know? Sorry, Paul, but did you want it delivered to your house personally that he passed the polygraph? I mean, come on now. Like, really? Like, I think it's just common sense there. So I don't understand why you're saying that. Hallelujah, Ken. Amen. Preach it, sister. I agree. Some people make me sick. I'm just venting. I'm going to be fine at the end of the day because I'm going to have a big bowl ass of ice cream by the time I'm done this. And you know why? Because I don't care if I put another pound on my ass, right? For all those people out there that want to sit there and say, mean things. I got a shield that's so hard. It's like dragon shield. What is it? I'm rubber, you're glue. What bounces off me sticks to you. The funny thing is, it all comes back to you when you throw shade. Like, does he not see that he just put down PJ because he hasn't married her? That's funny. Sorry about that. That did make me. I wasn't expecting. As I was reading it, I wasn't expecting to read what you said. It's priceless. Even if she did do it, the thing is, Dolly actually quite makes me laugh. I do want to say that. It's just honestly, from when I was watching him about a year ago to how he is now, it's such a money grabby, clickbaity thing. And he's being dishonest when he says he doesn't do clickbait and that he's doing it genuinely. Come on, dude. You've totally turned it into a money train. Like, you used to at least have some, when somebody, like, he can do what he wants. Don't get me wrong on this, but I noticed the big change there for sure. And like I said, it doesn't matter. Like I said, he's pretty funny. He's talking about snot balls, and I get it. That's kind of why I was enjoying watching him before more so, because of the humor, and he was quite funny. But honestly, nah, don't sit there and claim you're not clickbaity when you clearly are putting up a popping tent as if the kids are dead. But hey, it's not clickbait, even though it was like, how did you justify putting up that pop tent of, as if, as if some sort of big clue for Jack and Lily's case? Come on now. Those are games, and you're doing it for self-motivation. You ain't doing that for the children. My ass, Dolly. Even though I still think you're funny. I unsubscribed from DV months ago. They are both disgusting. See, I don't even really actually know or see his wife too much. I just hear her voice. It's almost like because he has the green screen or something. It's like I hear a voice every now and again. The sun, moon, and stars. Do you know that I actually made candles? I had a candle business, and I would buy. They were very nice cubes, and they were gel candles that me and my twin sister would make. And they didn't have the sun, or no, the moon. They had the sun, stars, and the heart. So I actually had them. I designed a moon. They sent it off to China to get made. And then I had the sun, moon, and stars collection. These cubes, these candle cubes, sold them for $7.95 at my kiosk. They sold like hotcakes. And all it was, let me put some purple in there. Let me put some pink in there. Let me put some yellow in there. And you give it the flavor, right? Strawberry shortcake and stuff like that. Hot apple pie. Sold them just like that. Just like when I had my sunglass business, same thing. I would love to know what Malehya's mom said. I would love to know that too. I'm sure Daniel would as well. Thank you for subscribing, Valerie. Every time I see that, I'm not going to try to sing it because you guys might be scared and leave this live if I start singing. But you know that song? Like, why can't you be Valerie? I can't sing that perfect. If I had a better voice, if I only had a voice. Ba-boom, ba-boom. But anyways, whenever I see that new, that's all I think about. Who has confirmed Daniel's lie detector test? Daniel has confirmed it. That counts too, right? My thing is this, is that Daniel had asked for a polygraph test. So he passed, Daniel, just so you know, if you're watching this, you passed my polygraph test type of thing. Because it's like when somebody's asking for a polygraph test that they literally put out there to the news that they did, knowing full well that if any had suspicion to them and they knew he was lying, you wouldn't say shit. You wouldn't say shit at all about passing or failing, right? At all. You'd have to be the dumbest horse's ass to do that. So in my books, the RCMP is not going to tell you. So who else is going to tell you that that he passed the test? Your brain is going to tell you that. Why? Because you're going to look at all that information and the fact that was asking for a test, that he even though he could have said it, but he didn't realize, he even said, like, in the one part of the interview that he goes, well, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say, but we'll just say it's favorable. Okay. Now in CBC reporting, it said that Daniel told him he passed the test and that people can stop pointing fingers at him. Right. So let's just use your judgment on this. He passed my polygraph test. I absolutely believe him, especially since I've seen a lot more messages that you guys have not seen nor will ever see, right? Unless he ever freaking puts them out. Other than that, I've seen those messages, and honestly, it's those things where you go, you know what, dude, good on you. You fight for those kids. You keep fighting for them. You keep fighting for the answers, right? Hi, everyone. You should not have to be sorry. You were given hours of life to report dishonest without clickbaiting. Thank you so much, Leslie. Appreciate that, right? It's people like you guys that really appreciate this stuff. That's honestly, that's truly who we do it for. The family always first, right? And I always do that. And honestly, the reason why, to bring the content to you guys, I guess it's like, I know in my heart that I'm doing an honest thing, right? I know people are going to try to tear me down. I'm one of the nicest people you ever want to meet, and kind of funny too, right? Well, thankfully my husband met me, and thankfully he's funny too. Actually, he's funnier than I am. It makes me sick. And his British accent, it even makes it more funnier, to be honest with you. I'd give you up. I'd give you up. Thank you, Angela. I love that name, Angela, because it has name. I have a good friend that's named Angela, because it has the word angel in it on there. Hi, hi, Joe. I'm gonna call you Joe Noel from now on. All your French talking over there. Hold on. There. Oh, Gloria. 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 My mom's name. She's passed away. Her name's Gloria. It's not a very common name, but I see it a lot more. I tell you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a nice name, Gloria. Makes me think of my mama. She being voices for those babies more than the mom. Absolutely. Yeah. I still feel he's suspect. Garnett, that's fine, right? No one's trying to force anyone to think a certain way. I mean, I'll tell you my thoughts and I'll give you my reasons because I have a channel where I can do so, right? And if just like your guys' thoughts out there in chat, right? The ones that I do see, because I can't see all of them, but there's things out there that people say that I'm like, oh, never thought of that, right? Because one person can't think of everything. It takes a team to like of people thinking and saying things, right? Because sometimes we can't think of everything sometimes. As smart as I think I am that way, there's things that people say that I'm like, yeah, never thought about that at all. I didn't think about no bus driver, to be honest. Well, I thought about the bus driver, but I didn't realize, bus driver had, you know, not a very good brother, let's put it that way, you know. But apparently nothing to that. So not gonna show it, not gonna talk about it, but other people can keep bringing up these beautiful kids. Absolutely. Okay, actually, let me put this up. There you go. There's Daniel with the kids' pictures, like he is with all the other interviews. I mean, Daniel literally said, because Charmaine said it on the live yesterday, when he all he needs to do is give a droplet of news to the news channels, global, right? To keep the awareness out there. He didn't he was like little does he know though that people come and people go like that, meaning the news is only as good as the news. So yeah, like meaning the news will capture a case fast when it's big, and because this one scoured across the internet, it captured it really big. But uh if this keeps going on, it's just going to keep dwindling and dwindling, and then there's not going to be any voice, and then he'll be more like, excuse me, you know, "Hmm, can I come on, hop on your live and talk about Jack and Lily, type of thing?" Because the news is only going to start reporting things like once. Someone's sending me a message here. Da. Oh no, it's just something else. Oh, Belinda, I'm not even sure if you're watching this. By the way, I didn't even. I was going for a nap, and next thing you know, I'm doing a live. Um, Lost my train of thought, people. Where was I at? Oh, something, Daniel, something. Don't remember. Oh, I don't know. Can't remember. Whatever. It will come back to me. Maybe it won't. Mods, how long a drive in the minutes is it from Daniel's to Malehya's place to the ocean? 2 hours? I don't know. Don't know. It was sweet though. Hi, Juice Box. See, now you're just making me thirsty. Juice Box. Now it makes me feel like I got shit just by having a bottle of water. I still like my little juice boxes. Five Alive, just saying. Or orange. Or strawberry. Okay, wait. I got to go back to this. Sorry. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Let me do it now. Let's see this. Krista became a member. Jane Tyrer Jane became a member. And Little Devil became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. You guys don't have to deal with the slow mode. And um, you can use those emojis for like Jack and Lily and any other emojis that the members can use for that stuff. So welcome aboard. Welcome. Because, me and my old partner, Aspen, we used to do members, and we'd take you guys to Alcatraz. We'd take you on a plane ride tour during our memberships. We take you to different visits. I'd be a pilot or the co-pilot, one of the two. And then we take you on a ride, and like I said, it was cool going to Alcatraz on Google. We take you around the world, take us where you guys wanted to go and stuff like that. Good times, good times. I might bring them back again. All right. Let's see. Me and Charmaine will drink and we'll take you on a better adventure, to be honest with you. Not that I'm a drinker. I drink once in a while, but hey, I'm willing to drink for a membership live. I am willing to do that. Child in Toronto was missing, found, passed away in hospital. Oh, now can I just say this too? I was so sad yesterday. I okay, so I went to lie down like when after I got off the live, right? And then there was this story of this little infant that was abused, right? And it said something like the title said something like mother runs into Walmart and her child, dies basically, is abused and whatever. Okay. They're showing pictures of this child. They're kind of showing like it's basically like the mother. So this child is sick and the mother's not doing anything about it. Basically, yeah, she's trying to give the child whatever, like some medicine just over the store. So then this child, as they're in Walmart, apparently like the boyfriend that's with her or whatever, says that the little baby, and we're talking an infant, guys, a little infant, says that the baby is coughing up blood, right? Rush the child to the hospital. Too bad, too late, dead. Guess what? The sad part beyond that, every inch of this baby is covered in bruises from head to toe with a fracture. I literally wanted to vomit listening to that. I literally had to stop it. Could you imagine looking at this little baby that they're showing a picture of and know that this baby had bruises and a pelvic fracture and a skull fracture from head to toe? This little beautiful baby. I can't. That's why I just can't. I just had to turn it off. It's just so horrific. Looking at a little innocent baby. Hmm. Hmm? But sorry, I was looking at Paul's thing. But it's just so gut wrenching to think that anyone would do anything like that to a child, a baby, and like, you know what I mean? Let alone any child. But you have to sit there and look at the news clip in a sense, because I'm looking at it, and all I'm seeing was this little baby, this little what, 3-4 month old baby. Hi, Susan. Time will tell. Yeah, who is doing the right things? Absolutely, Ocean. Like the name Ocean, by the way, on there. Okay. I tell you, my kids used to run wild for me too and listen to my husband really well. Sometimes that's just the way kids are. I get that, absolutely, because they know when they can get away with stuff. Oh, yeah. Me to my son, I was like a trampoline. Come on, just jump on me. You know, mama's there. You know, mama will do everything for you, Whereas I got to scroll. Oh, I'm like way the hell down up there. You guys, I don't usually get that far behind. I bet you some idiot's gonna post, well, the host talks too long. Da-da-da. Shut the hell up. Don't even watch the live. Those people that say that. And guess what, you idiot? You're watching replay. Means that you can skip ahead. I guess God didn't give you brains on the way when you left that post, did you? Can't stand stupid comments like that. Well, I just thought I'd be a dick and leave a message here that says the host talks too much, da-da-da-da-da-da, or whatever. Yeah, you're so forced to watch the channel. But hey, thanks for the nice comment. Appreciate it. Oh, I'm sorry, block. But it's like the stupidest shit. It's like you're literally sending me this after the live's ended. And you don't even think to hit that replay it, like skip forward. Like maybe go to the point that you want to watch a little bit. But no, go ahead and suffer. There was another person that said something, and I said, you know what? You're just too lazy to watch the entire 3 hours. The person said, can someone just sum up the 3 hour live? And I said, well, you're just too lazy. And I said, basically, no. I said, just go chill, take a bath, and just listen to the damn podcast, all right? And then this other person puts, Yeah, pass. And I'm just like, dick. Oh, still block and remove just because they're just dicks. Some of that shit does make me laugh though, because I'm just like, really? You just had to leave that comment there, didn't you? You just wouldn't have felt like a good person if you just didn't leave a little nasty comment, would you? Can't I have been the whole convo being analyzed, and so what? It's good that Daniel's words are being scrutinized as opposed to blind trust. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, I didn't fall off no turnip truck. Some people might have, but I didn't. I scrutinize everything. And once I have, then I make my decision. And I've made my decision that although Daniel might have his, saying things maybe they're not quite all truthful. I don't know for sure. But do I deem him as having anything to do with Jack and Lily's disappearance? Do I deem him as doing the right things? Do I deem him as that? So absolutely. Why? Because I got brain cells and I know how to use them sometimes. But anyways, you should always like you should never just go blindly in trusting. Absolutely not. I love to dig for information. I just am that person, right? I love watching people's you know, interviews and stuff like that. I love watching the horse's mouths talk, right? And then you see, okay, who's lying? Who's telling the truth? Who's full of shit? I love doing that stick. You should just like you should never, in a sense, believe everything I'm telling you because you want to like I said, some people are like, well, I don't got the receipts. Right. Well, go find the receipts then. Because I got the receipts for, Daphne and Belinda, and Daniel. I don't need to prove it to anybody else. I've already proven it to you guys. Those other people can go find their own damn ass receipts, on there. And instead of always like, well, I can't confirm this. Well, of course not, right? Because again, at the end of the day, I like to do my due diligence and I like to do my homework and I like to do that for you guys, right? I like to do it for the families first and foremost. Well, it's always about, hold on, let me put it this way. It's always about the victims first and foremost, okay? The families will come secondary to the children, to the missing and the murdered. They will come secondary because what's important is that these children are found, right? Like you guys get what I'm saying, right? It's not to be distasteful when I say that to the family, of course not. But the victims will always be there first and foremost. That's the point, because the awareness is about them. From there, Daniel looks innocent, but he and his mom are starting to trash Malehya. Why would they do that? Well, that's just it, right? If you have enough facts, then you can look at it a different way. And like I said, I look at it that way and I look at it the other way. And then I'll look at it sideways and then I'll look at whatever, right? I love to inhale information, right? And then I sit there with my brain cells at night going, okay, so if that's this and that's that, then how could this make sense if that doesn't make sense? Kind of like with Malehya's video. How could I believe Daniel at first, right? I wanted to, but I kept him at 50%. I wanted to, but if I couldn't believe, if they're both telling one story, even though they're off with their times as it's being said, meaning audio from the dispatch versus things that they've said. If I can't believe Malehya and they're telling a story together and she seems like she's lying, then how can I believe Daniel if I don't believe Malehya? But I wanted to believe Daniel because at least he was coming off as authentic, right? That was my first intuition, was that he's being authentic. And the more I was questioning her, then the more I kind of started questioning him more so. And then I started looking at it more. And then I started looking again. And I went to his Facebook. I went to his dad's Facebook. That's from his Facebook. I looked around. I saw this other relationship with these two other children. And I was like, you know what? Almost every picture he has a child in his hand. And he always has a smile on his face. He has a freaking Pokemon channel, for Pete's sakes. This is not a bad person. He's not. That's my feelings on it. But Daniel is not the bad person. And I agree. So I said I felt like he was soft spoken, probably hence why he doesn't look in the camera, probably I don't know, in somewhat insecurities a little bit, but maybe just not used to that. He obviously doesn't probably look people in the eye, straight in the eye, because you can tell that in his interviews. But you could tell he's never raised his voice when talking. He's never come across like he's this mean person at all. And people were calling him controlling, abusive. And I just didn't see any of that. And I believe that to be true. Absolutely. Because why? Because I looked at enough information that I've decided now that I'm comfortable saying I believe Daniel. So when Daniel had asked for a polygraph test and then he said he passed it, I believe him. Why? Because he'd be the biggest dumb donkey ass in the world to sit there on national TV to tell people he passed a test if a police officer that knew that he failed it is right beside him. And you don't think that man would have been arrested if they knew that he was just full of shit and had something to do with the kids by now? That's my thoughts, and I'm sticking to it. I watched your video and liked it and commented on it. It was so nice of you to take your time to make it, you know where your heart is. Absolutely. That part I do know. I know where my heart is. No one can take that part. Sunny people can be so cruel. I pray I never have to live their absolutely. I pray we never have to live their nightmare. Absolutely. You know, I'm just gonna play that last interview of his. And if you guys are coming in, honestly, this is simply to tell you guys, well, it's to vent a little bit, but it's really just tell you that those posts of Daniel never said that those were fake. Those are a bunch of bold-faced liars. Anything else that people are adding to those posts besides exactly what's been said about those posts are just liars, and they're adding a bunch. If people want to speculate, because obviously looking at those posts, you're clearly seeing things, right? About that the kids ran wild with Malehya, you know, but when I came in, honestly, I had a dog that, you know, my Bear never listened to me, I swear to God, but he would listen to my ex-husband in a second. All my ex-husband had to do was raise his voice, and that dog was back upside the house. I'd sit there and try to use my deep voice. Hell, Bear would just look at me and go, yeah, piss off. And then he would take off, right? Always happened. So I can understand, you know, does that mean that like that's one of the you know, meanest things? Like you don't ever think that you guys, people out there that have kids go, you know, well, wait till I tell daddy when he gets home, you know, or I'm gonna tell your mother, you know, it's that type of thing, right? So I can see Daniel was just trying to loves Malehya, you know. They might not have a lot of means, perhaps, you know. And don't get me wrong, their place is still a shithole on the outside. Don't get me wrong. But does that mean that the person isn't loving and caring and stuff like that? No, right? That's just the fact that they don't overly have a lot of money. It's his mom's property, you know. Sure, their yard could be cleaner. I'm sure their inside could be cleaner. Does that mean that they are incapable of loving properly? Absolutely not, right? That one thing doesn't have to do with the other. But now, if it comes to a child's safety, that's a whole different matter, of course, you know. But I agree. I think someone said the other day I was watching, you know, like when you're a child, you don't even think about stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong, you do, because when my mom left my dad, then all of a sudden we became poor ass, right? My mom would give us 50 cents if I was at best 25 cents to get a freaking hot dog from Hot Dog Day. You know, everything was just always. I remember my mom one time bought us like these dollar tilt-a-whirl things that we played with for our birthday, and she felt so bad, and I was like, Mom, it's fine. We enjoyed that damn tour of the world. Now my twin sister, different story. Okay, she was like, dollar. What do you mean? You only spent $1? You know, because so that's why she became materialistic in a sense, and I became the other way. I didn't care if I could get 20 outfits for $200. Sweet, thanks. My sister would get 4 outfits for $200, and that was her. So we're totally opposite that way, right? But anyways, go back to your comments. Charmaine, all I can say is keep talking, keep them talking, good, better, and different. Well, I'm just hoping that Daniel being kind of at first when all this kind of, you know, attacked. But the thing is that Malehya would have taken her Facebook down because these people would have said this shit to her anyway, right? I mean, honestly, it's sick and disgusting that people do it. But I'm hoping, you know, I mean, I don't know. Daniel's going to do what Daniel's going to do. All I know, if he ever does need to be a voice for the children, we're here for him. Simple as that, right? And he might need it down the road. Right, Krista, who became a member. Brenda, let's all call Steve Wilco. Why, Jerry Springer diet? Oh, okay. Oh, I was going to play a thing, wasn't I? Hi, Jane. I have just joined. Sorry, I haven't got more. Jane. Jane, you know that you could have probably added about 6 more zeros to that too, don't you? I think you do, Jane. I think you should cough that up. Even if it's in Monopoly money. I'll take that. No, just kidding. I'm kidding. On there. Don't expect anything, but it is appreciated if you do. Okay? It is kind. Keep up the great work. Rock and never. Yeah. It's the families that it just bugs me because now the information's not going to come to you guys. And you guys could have had more information towards more answers towards the case, and it takes away from what this is about, which is Jack and Lily, right? They're taking away what this is about. What this is about is to find Jack and Lily, right? To have some answers about what truly happened, because you're trying to bring awareness, right? We all know that the blame game goes on regardless, right? Someone's going to speculate the mother, someone's going to speculate the father, some are going to speculate both, and all that stuff. So I know that happens. It's people's human nature to do stuff like that. But the part that this is truly about is Jack and Lily, right? And people are making it about themselves that way by doing stuff. Like, why are you going over to the mother's Facebook, you moron? Seriously? You want to go vent? Like, seriously, go vent in those stupid toxic Facebook groups that you're from on there. No one's ever going to let me in their Facebook group again if they watch this live. And I don't even care because I freaking don't like Facebook groups. Besides maybe my own, that I don't even go in my own Facebook group, to be honest with you. So that says a lot about how much I like Facebook groups. Honestly, I have a Facebook group for It's a Crime and Shame. Heck, it was always the other people that were running it. I'd pop in once in a while to say something, but I just can't be asked for that stuff, to be honest with you. I mean, if I'm searching stuff and then it says this is in a Facebook group and it says join chat, I'm like, you know what? You're not worth the information. Not doing it. Not doing it. Yeah. Okay. Joe. Oh, hold on. Let me. You guys probably, this whole thing has been my voice, me speaking, but I just want to play this again. Okay, guys. I know it was from the other day, but it's his last one. Look at that. See, no information for you guys no more. When you could have had it all. You could have. That's just like, what's her name? You guys know who I'm talking about. You could have had it. Yeah. Can't even think of her name, and I love her. I can't even think of her name right now. Anyways, I'll play this. 1 sec. Okay, Daniel. So sorry that there's people out there that are pathetic. Where's my play button? Oh.
Since Daniel Martell has seen his stepchildren, 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan were reported. Since Daniel Martell has seen his stepchildren, 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan were reported missing Friday, May 2nd, after they wandered out of their Pictou County home. They have not been found after weeks of extensive searching the heavily wooded area.
Every day when I wake up, it just feels like I'm reliving a nightmare of May 2nd. But the main feelings from sadness have just turned to anger because there's no evidence as of after 1 month. And it's really taken a toll.
On Friday, RCMP say ground search and rescue crews and police will return to the area this weekend, focusing on a nearby pipeline trail where a boot print was previously located.
I know that they're working hard and they're using every resource they have, and it makes me hopeful because that's all we have at this point is just hope.
A vigil of flowers and stuffed animals has grown in recent weeks outside the RCMP station in nearby Stellarton. Since May 2nd, when Lily and Jack went missing, people here in Pictou County are still struggling to understand what happened and why there are still no answers.
Every day, almost, I go by the RCMP, and it's just so tragic. just so tragic. You know, I just feel so bad for their whole family. I'm hoping that they find them.
It just doesn't look good, but I hope I'm wrong.
The warden of Pictou County says many people are on edge and children are worried about playing outside.
Oh, I think it's mostly a mood of anxiety, maybe, and frustration. They too can't believe that there's not an answer by this long and this many people looking.
The RCMP have confirmed Lily and Jack were seen on camera with family the day before they went missing. Police are asking anyone who was on Gairloch Road between April 28th and May 2nd to share their dash cam or other footage with RCMP. Martell says every detail helps and could lead to finding Lily and Jack.
I'm going to keep fighting for the rest of my life to find these kids. That's the only goal I have at this point.
Haley Ryan, CBC.
At that part now, so let's straighten that part out, because I just seen a person saying so he wanted to go freaking to a waterfall and blah blah blah, and that's what his priority is. Okay, let's put that back in context. So he was saying that basically Malehya's mom has her phone, that he can't even contact her. Okay, so he's so in his shoes, in all fairness, okay? So after this debriefing or whatever, there was plans to give Meadow over to his cousin. And he said within 5 minutes, everything changed, that she couldn't even look at him, right? And she took Meadow with her mother and gone. 5 minutes, right? And someone's going, what the heck? So imagine that if that's the situation, or if that's the case, and that you literally are sitting there with someone, you love them, you're a family, in the morning, you're fine, and all that stuff. And then imagine that same day, or, like on the second, obviously, right? It's like kumbaya. And then all of a sudden she's gone, and then he can't get hold of her. So that was when Charmaine and him and Daniel were talking, she was like, well, I mean, if you want, we can help, maybe she'll see the live, right? And you can put that message out there, because he just wanted her to know that he promised he would take care of the kids, and that message about a first date and stuff like that, whatever. It was a sweet little message that he just wanted to put out to Malehya. It's because he can't get hold of her. So if we could do something, right? So that's what that message was for. It was something about, obviously, do you honestly think if your wife just kind of leaves you, even though I know that they're not married, but, you're considered married because you're definitely, over a year together and stuff, which is considered common law marriage anyway. But you don't think that all of a sudden you're like, wait a sec, what the hell just happened? 1 minute, fine. Then next minute, she can't even stand to look at me, something her mother said. And then she's gone with the baby. And that next thing you know, that's pretty much it. It's just him left to sit there and start searching. And wonder, like, you can't just fall out of love with somebody, especially I can tell that he loves her. So I can see it from a different point of view, because to me, it kind of comes off as someone making excuses a bit for someone's bad behavior. But we don't know their life. But that's what that message was for. It was basically that if Malehya saw that message, she would know what it meant. Okay? So that was a separate kind of thing. That was a part of a conversation that Charmaine was having for him. Can't fault the man for still, not knowing what's going on and saying that he promised to take care of Malehya and the kids and wanting to know what the hell's going on. Yeah, absolutely. Is it because the other channel's twisting every words? Well, no, it was the channels are going to twist words, but it's the people that were going over to her Facebook and then posting threats to her. So obviously, when he was saying, hey, like, here's some information, he wasn't thinking that dumbass twats are going to sit there and go over to her Facebook and, start doing threats. But chances are it probably already happened to her the first time, because people do that. They did it right away in the Summer Wells case. Heck, you know what? Adults have a lot of adults, they don't give a shit what they do. I mean, I remember when they were attacking that 16-year-old from the Summer Wells case, the shit that they were putting on his Facebook, accusing him of stuff, and the shit that they were saying to him, it was just mind blowing. And I can't believe that people actually do that, like that people literally go over there and say, go kill yourself, stuff like that. Because there are people that literally in this world don't have strong personalities, right? When those ones that are on chat they're just young and they take their own life because they're being bullied and people tell them to go take their own life and stuff like that. That's kind of crazy that adults actually do that stuff. It's just, no, it's more than that. You're mental, you're unstable, for anyone to do stuff like that. And then they're going to sit there, a lot of them, at least in some of the cases, let me just hide behind my Bible as if I'm a good person. Stick your Bible up your ass for those people. Seriously. Good people, you don't need a Bible to sit there and be a decent person in life. But I like a lot of these people that are Bible thumpers, try to hide behind a Bible. And all of a sudden they're a good person all of a sudden. And yet they'll call your job to tell you, like, seriously, some of these cases, guys, people literally get so invested and so sickly involved in these cases, they'll literally call people's jobs to tell them about who they are as a person on a Facebook post. Grab a life. Yeah, he left the search for the kids and wonder what the fuck just happened to this relationship. Right? I mean, like I said, so don't be so judgmental about that stuff. But and if you are, at least know why that was said, right? Instead of, like I said, we talked about it on there. But now I'm telling you again, that's why that post was up there. Half or too lazy. I'm just searching. And Kent and others, but Kent, only because Kent, we talk a lot on Messenger behind the scenes. Thank you. Thank you for being a level head and having common sense. Even if we don't agree on this case or parts of it, you have a very level head way of thinking. And well, there's a lot of people that do as well. But I'm specifically giving a shout out to Kent because I do talk to him on Messenger, and I do appreciate the fact of talking with people that can think out of the box and in the box and sit there and still realize that you can have differences of opinions, and that's okay, because he might say why he thinks this, or I say why I think that, or Charmaine says why she thinks this, right? Those are the best kind of conversations because it gives you a pause for thought. I used to have a really good friend. His name was Dan. And me and Dan would have these debates. And at the end of it, we'd do like a, freaking fist thump or fist pound or whatever. And we'd sit there and go, good debate. Right. And our voices could raise a little bit because we're so passionate about what we're saying. And at the end of it, we're like, okay, done. Okay. Yeah. Good talk. Right. Because why? Because I have the capacity in my brain to realize that my opinion is my opinion and theirs is theirs. And they have a right to say their opinion regardless, even if it's totally out of line with what I'm thinking. It's a fact that I can walk away from a convo, not be pissed off at the person, but literally go, all right, let's go have a drink. And I say drink loosely, but back then we had a lot of drinks together because his wife and my ex-husband and us, we were always hanging out and, having barbecues and hanging out, drinking and whatever like that. And when you live in a townhouse area in a sense, and you have that side space beside your townhouse that you can just put up a bunch of chairs, have friends come over, that type of thing. How about Daniel do a presser with Ellie and Malehya do a presser with Ellie? Well, that's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. Not in anybody's world. Just like you're not going to ever know the results of Daniel's test from the RCMP, and you're never going to gain that information at all. Again, we're in Canada, people. We're not in the United States. Totally different when it comes to information. But that's just the thing. So if you know you're not going to get, it's not like, the LE's going to come out there and go, just for you specifically, it's a crime and shame channel. I just want to let you know that, that Daniel passed his polygraph test. He's not going to say it to anyone. They're not going to say it to anybody. The only person that you're going to hear it from, and that's if you choose to believe him, is the person that just told you that he passed, or sorry, on the interview, he said, let's just say it was favorable. According to the interview in the news article, CBC said that he passed and that people could stop pointing fingers. He didn't realize that nobody's going to believe him, or some people are going to believe him anyways, regardless, right? As long as he, you know what I found during that conversation that Charmaine was having with Daniel is that I don't know him, but I'll tell you, he's not a dumbass. I'll tell you that. He's not a dumbass. He's actually quite smart. He knows how media works. You give him a droplet and then, they'll flock to you, right? He's not a dumbass. I can tell you that just by reading his things at all. So, I never really thought of it, but sometimes we just judgment, and I'm like, it's probably not the brightest bulb on the tree, Christmas tree or something like that. But I take that back because I did make that comment. I said they might not be the smartest bulbs that go or light up the Christmas tree, but honestly, I think that he's definitely not that dumbass at all. I think he's actually very, very wise in a lot of ways. How do you know he's cool, calm, and collected when searching? Do you imagine him being frantic and crazy 4 weeks after they've been missing? At some point, you got to pull it together and get things done. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just, to be honest with you, I actually feel bad for the dude, and that's, again, after doing my homework with him, how I feel bad for him, because when, like I said, especially with those messages, it was from Belinda, honestly, because she was giving more insight about things, about postpartum and stuff like that, and for any man to try to take away from postpartum, you know what? I wish you 1,000 camels that hump you before you're dead or something like that, because postpartum is a real, truly real thing. And for women, our hormones, they go out of whack, okay? For a man to whine about anything, suck it up and shut the frick up on that stuff, because you guys got nothing to bitch about. You don't have a monthly creature that comes out of your, front door there, okay? You don't have to sit there and shave your legs and your underpits all the time. You guys know. What do you guys got to do? I got some crumbs on my face. That's about it, right? Women, menopause, monthlies, freaking women, postpartum depression after you have a child. We give birth to those watermelons. Trust me, we can take pain way more than you guys do. So don't ever whine. Be grateful you are a man, okay? Grateful you don't got to tug around these suckers either, like the freaking watermelons and that. Like my husband, actually, I won't even go there with that. But anyways, get what I'm saying? So for a man to even speak on postpartum depression, even a male doctor that specializes in it, the only thing that he has in his books is facts. He has no knowledge of what it's like to be a female. And when you're going through these freaking emotional roller coaster shit going on in the brain. But postpartum depression is very real. So please don't make lighthearted of, people's mental health when they truly can have some, those things are just not good, okay? And women that go through this, we suffer through it, you guys, okay? I might not have postpartum depression, thank God. I know a lot of people that have, So, like I said, don't whine that you got to take off some breadcrumbs off your face, a couple times a week or something like that. The RCMP keeps everything close to the vest. You can be certain they have more Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The only thing that we have, right? This was the bottom line of it. Belinda, the paternal grandmother. So funny. No YouTube creators for the most part wanted to use any of that content, and yet they'll put the slimiest posts up on their channel all day long, right? Talking about freaking hypocrites. They'll post all these freaking gossip bullshit things. And so the paternal grandmother speaks, right? Give you guys the receipts. You think any of the creators actually cared about that? And why? Why, for the most part? Because they were too busy judging her son, that someone put false information out there about who Cody Lee Sullivan was, which was wrong information, right? There might be some information that people have gathered, whatever, okay? But at the end of the day, it's like, what? So all of a sudden she becomes like a piece of shit because of something that because her son's not in the children's lives? He was, right? And then Daniel becomes, involved in Malehya's life. But people wanted to judge the grandmother because her son, as if whatever. And these losers can't be asked to post any of those messages. Instead, they want to put up all these gossipy shit ones. Tell me where your priorities are, please. Yeah, I find that absolutely disgusting. It really shows who people are. That's why I really don't give a crap if I talk with other YouTube creators or not, besides the ones I do like, because of that reason. Because it's hypocritical. You care about the case, you want information, but somehow the grandmother becomes what? The bad person? Because it's her son that's the paternal one? And all of a sudden her actual, or at least, you know what I mean, some of it factual, some of it hearsay, obviously, because it's coming from, her Daniel or something like that at the time. You don't want to hear that. How disgusting is that? I honestly can't believe the stuff that I see. No, I do believe it, but I just can't believe the mentality of sometimes these channels and stuff and what they do put up. And then all of a sudden, Daniel speaks, and, for the most people that are genuine and true into this and have sincere hearts, and then these people in Facebook groups or content creators, want to take it. They don't even know the context of it, and then they want to talk about it like they do and stuff like that. I can handle, no, even then, just do your due diligence a bit, but whatever, But then the Facebook groups are like, Daniel said that these were fake. Yeah, Daniel didn't say shit, you bunch of liars. So why do people do that? And then they run around like little rabid rabies or rabbits. You guys know what I mean. And then they're just spreading it left, right, and center. Those are fake. I know those are fake now. Then all of a sudden it just circulates, right? Those are fake posts. But you know what? Don't care, because you guys know it's real. The people that are watching, you guys know that that's real information. And what do you got to do? All you need to do is look at it and go, this gave me more insight to what we don't know. So the family doesn't have to say shit at all. Then you guys, have nothing, right? Nothing at all, besides a bunch of rumors all day long. Or people that really care about the case and truly in it for the right reasons go, thanks for that bit of information. Thank you so much. Charmaine, who are you again? What happened to the dog? Well, the dog was the mother's. It's the mother's dog. As far as I know, the dog is the mother's dog, if that's what you mean, Brenda. Like, meaning it's Daniel's mom's dog. I forgot to post yesterday what was about the back. I asked Daniel, and yes, Lily would take... Oh, yeah, right. So, yeah. So, just so you know, this is another FYI. Don't need to put up a post for this one, because we're just going to say it. So, yes, Charmaine, I forgot to post yesterday about the backpack. When she was talking to Daniel, Daniel said that Lily would take Zach's backpack. I asked Daniel and said Lily would take Zach backpack. Zach. Anyway, is that typo? Out to play. It was stuffed full of toys for treasure hunts. Oh, so basically her little nappy sacky there, the strawberry one or whatever, it was like her play knapsack. It was like her little treasure hunting thing. And so you guys didn't know that yesterday. So a lot of people ask that question, right? Like, did Lily always take her backpack with her? Well, Apparently she played with it all the time. It was like her little treasure hunt. There you go. More info. Thank you, Daniel. Because it means something, right? Because in your head, the people that are critically thinking are going, well, did she normally take her backpack out, or why is that? Like, how did they know that the backpack was, or whatever? So if it was a normal, natural thing that she used that backpack, yes, Sunny and Belinda wasn't taking sides either. The convos were organic. Yeah, helicopter was flying around the property. Are you talking about today, Paul? Who's Belinda? I thought Daniel's mom is. No, Belinda is the biological grandmother of Jack and Lily. Okay, her son is the paternal father. Belinda is the paternal grandmother. Daniel's mom is Janie McKenzie, right? So again, for people that aren't aware, and Cindy Murray is Malehya's mom. Okay, and Henry Joseph Brooks is Malehya's father. You know, the guy that said, honey, baby girl, if this ever happens again, you just tell Daddy-O, because he's a trapper. And still, I make fun of that just because when somebody puts, if this ever happens again, right? It's kind of like Daniel. He's made this comment twice now, but I think this is a normal thing for him to say, and he's not thinking much of it. When twice now Daniel has said, you know, I'll keep searching them for the rest of my life, right? Honestly, now that I've heard him say it twice, I don't find it that odd anymore because he's said it a couple times. I think that when he's talking, that he's just not even thinking about those exact words as he's saying them. And it's not so much of a guilt thing. It's just him using that terminology to be like, I don't care what it takes. I'll just keep searching them for the rest of my life if I have to, you know? And then people go, well, that's because he knows that he did something to them. First time, obviously, it's so weird. Second time he said it, now I don't find it weird at all. It's just obviously, his way of saying, like, I promised Malehya I'd take care of her and the kids, and I'm going to keep my promise. And if that means I have to keep searching for these kids till I'm dead, basically, then I'll do that. Now we know that that's not going to happen, okay? But at the time, they think it's going to go on that long. Yep. So wait, what? Then did you say that afterwards? Because I just explained it. So you know that Janie McKenzie is Daniel's mom? Okay. Ted Bundy was smooth talking and smart man. We all have our own. Yeah, I'm not going into the whole Ted Bundy thing. I seen you in Dolly's live yesterday there, Raven. Yeah, your thinking's a bit different than mine. Kent made a good point about the backpack. Oh, Kent, what did you say about the backpack? Okay. What did Kent say about the backpack? Kent, type again what you said about the backpack. Oh, right here. So if that was a play backpack, then that means she wasn't going to the end of the driveway, likely that she was likely thinking she was walking to school. So if that backpack then means that she wasn't going to the end of the driveway, likely thinking right, exactly, right. If it's a treasure thing, is that what you mean, Kent? Yeah. See? Common sense thinker. Got to think about that stuff. Is that information you would have had without Daniel saying it? Absolutely not. Thank you. I having a look. So yeah, Belinda is watching on this one. I wasn't sure if she was or not, to be honest. Lily has a bunch of knapsacks, actually. Lily's first day of school, she had a pink nap backpack. I've noticed Lily has a bunch. She has a Hello Kitty backpack. She has a Barbie backpack. And then obviously she has probably strawberry shortcake type backpack on there. Kent, is it possibly could have been a backpack for school and used for play? No, trust me, this kid, if you look at those pictures that I showed the other day, hold on, let me put this back up, by the way. Like Lily has plenty of backpacks over there. I honestly think, and I'm going to say this again. Every time I've seen Daniel talk or whatever, but the pictures that I've seen with his ex, Christy, there, it's like he always has a child like in his hand, right? Type of thing. Heck, I had to make my ex hold freaking our son, Matthew. Like, it's like, so I got to do his birthday, take pictures, and you can't even be asked to take a picture of me at all at the party, at the whole celebration, or hold your son and stuff like that. So I got to do it all. Oh, okay. Thanks. Right. But every time I see this guy, like I said, it's just, I can see Daniel. Sorry, but I just think he was telling his truth. I can see him taking Jack and Lily. Charmaine, did we ever talk about the part that she didn't really go outside very much, Malehya? Like, meaning that she didn't play out with the kids very much outside? Did we talk about that yesterday at all? Because that's nothing that's going to, set the freaking world on fire. Right? So I can see Daniel taking these kids outside. He's obviously an outdoors type of guy. And then someone was judging him because he worked one day a week. Well, I'll tell you, he's been working for that company since 2013. Does that make him some sort of hobo? Because work is a lot harder where he is. It's not about the money part, guys, at all anyway. It's about Jack and Lily missing, right? Not judging on how much money they have in their thing. I mean, I'm not going to, like I said, sugarcoat that their home's a shithole. That part's clear as day. I'm sure they're well aware of that, but to the kids, it's just a big playground to them. Yeah, Jack and Lily. That's right. Do you understand? Kids don't think like that. It's just a big playground to them. They're just like, woohoo, right? Because kids, kids, they'll make anything out of anything. Yeah. On there. Hi, Stella. Don't forget, you guys. I don't care. I don't care if this is kind of a vent live trying to clear things up. I just wanted you guys to know that I'm not sitting there trying to hide or monetize and stuff like that. I'm doing because Charmaine called me and said, Daniel said, could you take down the thing? Now, I really hope that she talks to him because I tried hitting the call button on my messenger. I was like, you know what? YOLO. I'm hitting that call button. See if he'll answer. Because, right, again, it's for the purpose of putting out the right information. So if the information is already out there, why not at least have, because I get it if he wakes up and all of a sudden, right, gets a phone call and stuff. I understand that. But once things simmer down a bit here, at least this channel has what was actually spoken about instead of this reverberated garbage that people are trying to spew and twist. Like, they can still spew and twist it, but at least they have a channel to come to where they're actually knowing that information came from this channel. And now nobody has nothing to go back to anymore. Because now the only time that they can see these posts is on some of these channels that have used it were shit. That's the part that bugs me. It's because the whole point of this is awareness and stuff like that. And, and obviously when you give information, there's people going to be like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And other people are like, lies, bullshit, crap, whatever. And I just say, suck it. That's all I got to say today. Just suck it. Clutch Pearl's talking about the screenshot of Daniel's text right now. Yeah, I seen that, Clutch some Pearls. Justin's a good guy, right? He's probably one of my favorite content creators, to be honest with you. He might get things wrong like we all do, but I like Justin. I really do, actually. He's a good heart. He's a good heart. He's very appreciative of his donations. He's very appreciative of the people that come into that, right? And beyond that, he's just a good person. You don't see him like begging for money and stuff like that either, right? He just is a nice guy. It's kind of like how I feel about Daniel here. He's just a nice guy. People are trying to break him down, tear him down. I'm sorry. I don't see it at all. And I'm not stupid either. And I actually believe this. I've had people send me a post saying that they've known Daniel on one of the posts, on one of the videos saying, look, I've known this guy for 19 years now. And Daniel's a good guy, And it wasn't about if he was a bad guy, really, in a sense, like to some people it might have been. It was Who is responsible for Jack and Lily's disappearing? Was it an accident? Was it a cover-up? We didn't know, right? Again, I'm very grateful for the information that Charmaine got in talking to Daniel, just from my own insight, to be honest with you. Because now I can go, well, let me look at it this sideways instead. I was looking at it different ways, but now I have other ways. But anyway, so yeah. So, for me, I like Justin. Some people don't, that's doesn't matter, right? I can't preach to you guys who to watch and not to watch. It's not about how they live or how much money they have at a yard. It's about their missing children. That's what it's about. Hopefully someone gave them a hand. I think Vanessa says today, like, she goes, you know what? I just want to send them a basket full of fruit or something like that. And I said, well, Vanessa, if you're going to send him one, you better send me one too. Just saying. Because love's not free here. It isn't. Right, Charmaine? I'm just kidding. But anyways, and it's because, right? Like, honestly, just put it all together and think, he's the only one out there searching for the kids. Malehya is like gone, ditches his ass. He's looking for her kids. She's not being a voice for the children. You honestly believe, and you have to be really like a little bit numbskull here on this thinking. When people have said this, it makes me totally laugh, to be honest. When people have said, well, what's he doing interviews for? Why is he spending so much time doing interviews for? That is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard, when you're literally trying to find the children and you're all of a sudden going, wait, why are you doing too many interviews? I think that you should be searching. No. They're told basically to stay away, that this is where they're going, right? And you just sit back basically and let us take over. Of course you're going to do interviews. If you really care, he's not being forced to do interviews. There's a difference there. Try to get Barry Morphew with Suzanne's case to do an interview, right? All these people, no, they don't want to. They got to, and because then they know they have to stand there and freaking lie to your face. He's wanting to do interviews. He's wanting to do a polygraph test. He's wanting to understand why Malehya just in 5 minutes talks to her mom and she's out of there. Do you blame him? I mean, honestly, I feel bad for the dude. I actually do. Once I realized, in my head, like once I realized that Malehya, postpartum, all that stuff going on with her, and by his comments, and once I saw, and once he passed the polygraph, because I believed him. Why? Because I just took all the information and went, dude, I'm 100% believing you now, right? No, 99.9999999. Can't give you 100% yet. But I'm there. Plays Pokemon cards. Come on now. Tells us about the backpack. Oh, did my? No, I thought my son sent me a message. My bad. That was my message to him. Hopefully someone gave him a hand. My heart hurts for him. Again, just because we believe in Daniel, that he's being truthful, or as truthful as he can be, in a sense. I like no bullshit people. I like it when people I think it was clear when someone, so a deep empath or an empathic person understands when you see a post and it says, that you're just telling the truth, even if it hurts. And then you say, it is what it is, and him saying like, doesn't, when people use words like that, those aren't lying people, honestly, because that means to tell me that he's actually quite a soft person on the inside, because I know that he's using words that an empathic person would use, or basically an empath would use, or a very kind of more caring personality would use. They would never use those type of words. Those are words that we would use. You get me, girls? Some of you. Men, probably not so much. The mom, or I'm almost at 2 hours, eh? That's a good long vent. The mom should be out here too. I'm not hiding. Yeah, she should. She actually should. I just feel like that I feel like she's being a robot. You know, she's old enough to make her own damn choices. That's what she's old enough to do. If she's old enough to make kids, she's old enough to make her own damn choices, you know. But she's probably letting everybody else guide her and help her in a sense. And whereas Daniel's like, you know, I'm doing what I got to do. I'm being a man and I'm doing what I got to do, you know, because I mean, you could see he said that the kids called him dad. Do you honestly think that if the kids didn't care about him, they're going to call him dad? No one's going to force a child to call him dad if they didn't feel comfortable. I remember at that age, you know, I wouldn't call my stepdad my dad. It just didn't feel right. I already had a dad, you know, even though, you know, he was with my mom, but I just didn't sit right with me. Right now, I know that he's been there for like whatever 3 years. So obviously, little Jack was very young, like what, a year older, whatever, you know, and stuff like that. But if they were calling him dad, I'm sure that he was a good guy for them to call him dad. Daniel's text has wrong Facebook picture in his chat, so would be fake. Daniel's text has wrong Facebook picture. What are you talking about? Paul, you're not a very good detective at all. How do you even make it to the channel? To be honest with you, what are you talking about? Let's see here. 1 second. Please. 1 second. Am I in my... Oh, yeah, I am. Leave. 1 second here. Do. Like, what are you talking... Paul, have you been drinking again? It's no deep, dark secret how many people have been to his Facebook. Look at that. Paul, stick on your glasses, put down the drink, dude. Yeah, you're not a good freaking detective. Yeah, you just stick to your day job, okay? Because seriously, sometimes I feel like you're off your rocker a bit. I could have been found some other profile. I think so. I'm showing you it. See that picture right there? It's the same one that's in the posts. All right. It's not because Charmaine had a conversation with herself, like she said, right? It's actually Daniel responding. I love that little family picture, by the way. That's actually, to be honest with you. So I probably didn't stalk his Facebook for quite a while. Oh my goodness, is this the one where it says my handsome son from Janie McKenzie? Oh my goodness. Yes, it is. You know, nice cut. Like they look like they're happy, you know, at that point. I mean, he loves Malehya. You can tell. But look at this. I didn't even realize he had 2 other children until a couple of weeks ago, to be honest. And I'm like on his page and I'm like, wait a second. Where'd these other 2 children come from? And then I realized that they were his and that there was this other one. I didn't realize like there was a Brady Bunch going on here. But you know, anyways. But this is who it's about. It's about these 2. Yeah. Okay. I think Paul should go sit in the naughty corner until he becomes a little bit more informed here. And you know what? You definitely should not be a true crime sleuth. I'm telling you that. 5 children that he does not see. Who? Paul. Paul. We're talking about Daniel. Whose children are you talking about? He has Meadow. He has Lily and Jack. Paul, I'm sad. Did they let you out recently? Swear to God. Killing me, dude. Yeah. You know what? I think, Paul, you got all your information wrong. And that's where this is coming from right here. Because It's only recent. Polly Wally alike. Polly Wally doodle. You're killing me, dude. Every time I look down at your comment, I don't know why. Maybe I could be wrong, Paul. But now you're starting to make me feel like you're about 80 years old, can barely hear, can barely see. I don't know. Sorry, I meant to say sunny, not sunny. Sorry, I meant to say sunny, not sunny. I answered your question. Go back up. So I answered your question about her going in the yard or what Daniel meant. Well, Charmaine's making me, she's just wanting attention, isn't she? You guys better put that in the Facebook. Charmaine, attention whore. Charmaine just wants attention. Did I pass it, Charmaine? Tell me what time it was at, Charmaine. You guys see it? So I gotta listen to David first and Catherine here. Sunny, you were right. I saw the word "you were right," and I was like, "Whoa!" My eyes just focused on that. You're right. Now being talked about on live at Clutch Some Pearls, talking about the chat Charmaine had with Daniel. Well, hopefully and hopefully he saw why it was taken down. You go, Justin. Charmaine, he has the same profile picture. It's in his profile. Charmaine, what am I not seeing? And if you could just retype it on there. You know, to be honest with you guys. Oh, actually, you know what? Because the other live's hidden on there. Hold on, how many people do we have? Not bad. We got 168 likes. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming. I'm just gonna be honest. I need to go give the toilet a drink right now. So I'm gonna play the little video for Jack and Lily right now. Okay? Okay, Paul? Is that okay with you, Polly Wally? I feel like it is. Oh, wait. I have to. Nope, Sonny. They all saying it's a hoax. You know, they can be morons all they want. You know, the actual people that actually have brain cells, they actually know that it's true, right? And you can't fight stupid. You just can't. So at the end of the day, we know that we have that information because we're not dumbasses, right? So that's the thing, is that people always do this, right? They just freaking like little devil forks that they got, you know, racing around the freaking internet land going, you know, I'm just going to say it's a lie. Oh, yeah, this person said it here and this person said it there. Oh, my God, I'm such a follower. I'm not a leader. You know, I'm just a little ant following them all around. That's what that's like to me. It makes me laugh because it's such a joke. Detective. Yeah. He's second eyeball. Remember, you guys know that I put the post about me taking the thing down? He put one eyeball as if to be like, I'm watching. What is going on here? So I put 5 eyeballs back to him. And then I went to his last video and I put his eyeball back on there. Okay? If you're watching this, Deception Detective, you know, I ain't full of shit. I might take a shit sometimes, but I'm not full of shit. I'm not on Streamlabs. It does sometimes. Oh, I said I was going to be right back, didn't I? Let me quickly pull up that video. Just because. Wait, how did we get so close? Why do I feel like we're right here all of a sudden? Huh. Image file, video file. Polly Wally doodle all day. Fairly well, fairly well. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, you ready? You ready for this? Jack and Lily.
A little girl and a boy went missing one day. It was on Friday morning, the 2nd of May. People went searching in the woods there and back for 2 little children named Lily and Jack. The girl was just 6 years, the boy he was 4. While others were sleeping, they walked out the door. by and turn into days. A sign of those children, the news that you'd say. Where's Lily and Jack? Where can they be? So sad and heartbreaking for each family. Not a trace or a sound from Lily or Jack, who walked out the door and they never came back. Lansdowne Station, it was their own. In Nova Scotia, there they did roam. Let's not forget them and let us pray for the two little children still missing today. Where's Lily and Jack? Where can they be? So sad and heartbreaking for each family. Not a trace or a sound from Lily or Jack, who walked out the door and they never came back. Who walked out the door and they never came back.
Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, where am I? I'm down. I'm over here. Found myself. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Thank you. See, Charmaine. Let's put that up there. Whoops. I guess we'll put this back. We'll put this up there. People are calling Malehya a bad mom because she didn't go outside with the kids. But what Daniel meant was he took the kids into the woods. She didn't. She was inside with the baby. Yeah. And again, you know, obviously he said, if he said she was going through some health, like mental health issues, I'm not talking about the backpack or going outside part, I'm just talking about in general, you know, does that make her guilty? No, but definitely her interview was weird. That's for sure. I'm not going to take that. We're not going to take that one away. That one. I mean, even Daniel said it was weird, her calling her partner, but it's the way she said it. I think, you know, a lot of things that she said in that interview are weird. And so, I don't know. I just think that at the end of the day, like I said, we have a better perspective, you know, just kind of looking at it. And the more information you get, the more you can make an informed decision about what your thoughts are, right? They might have been changing, but if there's one thing that's not going to change yet, it's on Daniel, to be honest with you. Malehya, she's still a big question mark in my head with everything, just because it was just odd. What she did was odd. If Daniel said what was true about her leaving within 5 minutes and that she just totally had a different, like this look of disgust, like why would you admit that, right? Like he literally said that she looked at me like couldn't even look at me, as if he was disgusting type of thing, right? So what did Malehya's mom say? Don't know. Don't know. Would love to know, but don't know. Because something obviously caused her to whip up and leave in 5 minutes or something. I'm sorry, but if DD has a problem, he should be discussing it here and not ditching out on another channel. Absolutely. DD, come up on the live, dude. Say your piece to me. You know, tell me, you know, I don't need to have a diploma, though, behind me to be wise about people, you know. And the thing is that a lot of those last lives that he done, because like at the end of the day, I just take everyone with a grain of salt. You know, some people, they come off a lot better in a sense because they just kind of give you information and you take it with a grain of salt, because Didi, he's just giving his impression, what he's seeing, you know. And your deception deck, by the way, is pretty high priced at $109. Not gonna lie. I probably wouldn't pay any more than $19.99 myself personally for that. But I don't need a diploma. I don't need that to read people, you know. Like I said, it's just some people just have a knack for certain things and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, if you want to come up on here and talk, feel free. if you have something to say. I mean, I'm always willing to listen to people, and their thoughts and opinions. I am. But he really should have done his due diligence with the information, especially from Daphne, And hey, like I said, I don't owe him receipts. I don't owe anyone receipts. The only people I owe receipts to is this channel and you guys, the people that come in here and watch. I don't need to do somebody else's work for them, and I don't ask them to do my work for me, right? But at the end of the day, it would be nice if he had the facts. Like, I just figure if you're gonna really give your honest opinion, then shouldn't you at least gain the proper facts before spouting off all these lives, in a sense, without having the facts and using your channel, which is got 164 subs, maybe it's 165, maybe it's 100. I don't know. That's my brother-in-law. I can hear in the background there. But do you know what I mean? He can do whatever he wants still. But I just think that that's not being very wise. And, if you're doing it for the right reasons, or you're doing it, maybe he is, maybe he's not. But if you're doing it for the right reasons, then you should at least do your due diligence and know that if Daphne is, type of thing, and Belinda's the mom, and of like he could verify, but he didn't do his due diligence. And so now it's just kind of like talking about a bunch of crap out there and doing more harm than good. Does he care? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. Maybe he does. I don't know. Doesn't come off that way. Kind of. No offense, Dee, but you kind of come off a little bit like a narcissist, just saying. Reminds me of that Italian stallion type kind of demeanor. A little on the full of himself side. The tribal units leaders should be asked some questions. Absolutely. He's over there saying that they can't prove that it was him. You were talking to deception detective, said he asked you to search post them in the browser. What? He asked you to search post them in your browser. Huh? Maybe I'm just not smart enough for him. What does that mean? I only saw him say one thing, and I only read half of what he said, and I was like, "Are you being a jerk?" And then I actually just didn't pay attention after that. I got better things to do than to smooch asses with somebody, or try to do. It's this channel. I don't go over to his channel and go, "Hey, by the way, you need to provide all those posts. The ones that we did the live on. Just come on, pull them all up. Pull all 5 of them up. Instead he pulls up one and determines that that's kind of bullshit. I don't know. He's over there saying that it can't be proved to him you are talking deception. And he said you asked him to search post them in your browser rather than screenshots. Not exactly sure. Who is Justin? Justin is from Clutch Them Pearls. He's a good dude. I got an Italian stallion. I got this. Be right back. On there. Like I said, if he wants to come up on here, Dee, if you want to get up your ass up here and come talk about it, type of thing, then feel free. Other than that, honestly, I guess you're just going to do your thing regardless. And whatever. It's just that I just, like most people, think that if you have a bigger channel, you probably should use it to the best of your abilities that you can. If a lot of people are watching you and stuff like that. But hey, it depends what reasons you're in it for. Are you in it to hear your own voice? Are you in it because you really care about cases? Like I said, I don't need no diploma behind my wall to tell you to know exactly people when you can read them so easy that way. I might not use the same lingo and that stuff like that, but I don't need it. I just need to smell it, see it, know what they're saying. So some people, like I said, have gifts for certain things, and other people, need to go to school, I guess, for certain things. I would think that he would be intuitive, like, somewhat. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if maybe he's a Cancer baby. If he's a Cancer baby, I'm going to have to forgive him. you know. But if he falls outside of the cancer, then no, probably not. He's over there saying, oh, I already read that. Okay. Oh, hi, Natalie. How are you? Now I'm just shooting this shit. He's not live. Who, Justin or Dee Dee? Justin. I think Justin was. Yeah. Oh, Charmaine sent me a messenger screenshot. Let's take a little looky. Charmaine, my messenger sucks. I don't know why I ever decided. When it said sync it one day, I was like, sure. Worst decision of my life. Swear to God. Charmaine sent a photo. Let's see. Oh, that's not something I can share. Is that the last thing you sent me? 6:30. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were sending me a screenshot from something DD was saying. I'm pretty sure DD was like, you know what, Sonny? I've fallen in love with her. I know she's married, but I've already fallen in love with her. I love that feisty chick on that channel. I think that's pretty much what he's saying. That's what he should be telling Justin too. You know, everything she says is truth, Justin. I agree, Charmaine. I'm not putting my browser on YouTube, and I thought I was an idiot. I know, like what? Like really? Who's that benefiting it for? At the end of the day, we were just putting out the. At the end of the day, we were just putting out the information. And again, we gave you receipts, and if people didn't want to believe it, they didn't have to. You know, like I said, people that know this channel know we don't pull that crap. So, you know, they want to twist it and turn it like that. It was just about the thing I was mad about is the fact of people going over to Malehya's Facebook page and saying, you know, like threatening, because people do that, right? I mean, it doesn't feel good looking at a Facebook page telling you to go kill yourself and stuff like that. Oh, I think Vanessa, that DD is in Justin Clutch Them Pearls channel. Well, that's the thing. It's that they truly are. It's more that they're causing damage, but you know, it is what it is. On there. Sorry, just looking at what Charmaine's sending me there. All right. Who's Facebook? Malehya's Facebook? Hi, Sun Cycle. Been seeing some videos that claim the show text messages from Daniel. Been seeing some videos that claim the show text messages from Daniel. Do you guys know anything about this? Any of that information? been seeing some videos that claim to show text message from Daniel. Are you talking about yesterday's live that I had to take down? Or that's in private? You're talking about the conversation between Charmaine and Daniel, Sun Cycle? The ones that are actually factual? Those ones? If you're talking, like I said, for people that have brain cells, they'll know that those are factual messages between Daniel and Charmaine, not myself. It was them that was having a conversation, and he was all good with putting out that, but because people are bashing Malehya, blah 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 blah, he wants everything taken down. Does he not realize that every content creator that watches this case, have seen it, will see it, will share it, and stuff like that? Okay. Yeah. Anyways. I think yeah, I think I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna head off now. I'm gonna talk with Charmaine for a bit, if I can here. And other than that, you know what, you guys just, if you guys could, like I said, care about the case, care about Jack and Lily, care about the proper information. Can't control what others do. You can always say your 2 cents, but just to be honest with you, honestly, does it matter? People, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're simply gonna do. Right. The thing is, right, it's like as if we're going to. Hi, Cyber. Cyber, I read your full thing today, by the way. And I think some of it could possibly be accurate, to be honest with you. Love you too, Susie Little. Love you guys. Babies need to be found. The truth will come out in the end. Yeah. I just, like, whatever, to be honest with you. You try to do stuff for people and help them out and stuff like that. Then I don't know. I just find it kind of strange. It's like, okay, you can use that. The next thing you know, it's like, I don't know. You know what? At the end of the day, we just do what we do, right? Appreciate people's kindness, appreciate people's awareness. To this case, maybe they should verse themselves on a little bit about true crime then and stuff like that. But it really sucks when you're having a conversation with somebody and you're just having a genuine conversation. They say that you can use stuff, but don't use this stuff and stuff like that. And then, basically it's like, you're to blame. It's all your guys' fault. It's your fault for putting that stuff out there, the stuff that I said you could. Really sucks. Everyone's attacking Malehya now. I know she left me. I know she's treating me like shit. I know that this and that, but but I love her. It just makes you feel like, so whatever. That's what it feels like, to be honest with you. You get a slap in the face. You just try to do it for the goodness, for the purpose, and then messages come in with basically like, you're to blame. Is what it is. Disappointing, to be honest with you. Too bad. They all just jealous. We know it's true and your intention. Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, you know what? Again, I always know what the actual goal is here, and it's awareness. And hey, someone didn't have to message back and open his mouth whatsoever, So if you're gonna say stuff because you say that you're, the truth is what it is, and then all of a sudden you turn around and get slammed. So you don't think that is the reason why she took her Facebook down in the first place and stuff like that? Whatever. At the end of the day, whatever. It is what it is. I just really hate getting shit on when you try to do the right thing. You sit there and you make a video. Who gives a shit about that? Who cares about Lily and Jack's awareness? Type of thing. If they're too busy. Malehya. Anyways, piss me off seeing what I'm seeing, to be honest with you. Whatever. Oh well, it's been a month. Don't get me wrong. You know, obviously someone's in a very difficult situation here. But I still hate being shit on when you try to do good things. It sucks. It's been a month. We need a polygraph test from both Malehya and Daniel. Well, Daniel has had one. We don't know nothing about Malehya on there. Anyways, you guys. Hey, Joe. You know what? I've had enough of for day. I've had enough of for day. That makes sense. I've had enough of today. I'm tired. I need some more sleep. I'm just going to go chill and relax. And thank you for everyone. Why no Amber Alert for the missing children? Because it wasn't deemed one at all. They never deemed it that it met the criteria. And then they basically said, of course, Brian, that they don't believe that the children, there's nothing to show them that the children were abducted. So we'll see how it all plays out. All we can do is, again, Belinda, thank you so much. Daniel, even if you're being a bit of a butthead right now, thank you so much. And other than that, bless the family that truly actually, are invested in finding out what happened to Lily and Jack. We just can do what we do. Thank you guys so much for spending this night with us. Well, us, Charmaine vicariously. Okay, guys. So good night. Take care, guys. Yeah, prayers. Oh, you guys, don't forget that. Hold on. The vigil is tomorrow for Jack and Lily as well, and I think it's at whatever time. So I should be live streaming that one, I believe, because yeah. Hi, Ashley. Okay, as long as I can live stream it, because it's from Facebook. So Facebook, you can live stream. But anyways, other than that, you guys have a wonderful night. And with that being said, thank you. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. I got to go back to something. Hold on. Comments. Sorry. I just want to give recognition to. See, I'm so tired I can't even talk, man. I think I was drinking. Little Devil, Jane Trier, Krista, and Jane Trier again. Thank you guys for those memberships that you guys joined today in the $2 super chat. Okay, so with that being said, be blessed and have a great night.